Hello, everyone. I like Miguel, Ángel. Don't worry, I'm gonna try Polish as well. Cześć wszystkim. It's near. Well, I tried. So before we jump in, I wanna get to know you a little bit. So let's do a quick hands up. How many of you raise your hand if you are a programmer? Okay, okay. Full room of programmers, fine. So now raise your hand if you are using AI in your work. Yeah, I guess these days it's hard to find anyone who doesn't use at least one of these tools. And finally, raise your hand if you think AI is just a bubble that is going to burst soon, and then we could all relax again. Oh, two, only two, okay, fine. This is exactly how I feel trying to keep up with everything happening in AI right now. One day you think you are finally on top of things, and the next day, boom, something new comes out, and suddenly you feel lost. And there's one thing everyone seems to be chasing, is AGI, artificial general intelligence. It's like the holy grail of artificial intelligence, the moment where machines don't just do tasks, but actually think, reason, and solve problems. And of course, when people hear about AGI, this is usually what pops into their minds. You know the classic story, we try to automate a few things, and suddenly we have robots with red eyes trying to kill us. So what about us? What about programmers? There is so much talk about AI, if it will change our lives. Sometimes we forget that it's also changing how we code, how we learn, and how we work together. As programmers, we have been helping these large language models, where programmers creating AI to replace ourselves. And I'm a web developer, and in fact, it seems that for us, it's so over. It's every day we have this kind of messages on Twitter or X. But being honest, if this is the best landing page that we're able to do, I think it's fine if maybe it's over for a good reason, okay? And anyway, it's been years since web templates have existed to do a better job than that. And AI hasn't just supposedly killed web developers. We have graphic designers, Excel, speech therapists, the music industry, PowerPoint. And it reminds me when I started working in programming 20 years ago, and my colleague told me this phrase: JavaScript has 2 years left at most. This is a photo of my colleague, by the way. Yeah. And anyway, still today, 25 years, we throw JavaScript at everything, even a bit too much sometimes. But anyway, it's clear. The market isn't as hot as it was 3 years ago. Things are changing, but should we blame AI? That's the question. I'm not sure about it. I mean, we have some new tools, AI coding tools like this one. You just type a prompt, and it magically creates a website or an app for you. You don't even have to write a single line of code. So yes, that's all. We can just go home, that's all, problem solved, or not. Here is the AI-generated code example. Do you see something? I don't know if we have here some web developer. Raise your hand. Okay, is there a problem here? What's happening here? Too many dips. Yes, doctor. We have a severe case of dividitis. Dividitis is when you only use one single element in the HTML to do everything. And that's the problem with the AI. Sometimes the AI is great, but it's not a silver bullet. It gives you what you're asking for, or sometimes something different. It's like a prompt. Give me a tasty meal, and then you have something like this. Well, it's tasty, you have chicken, you have chocolate, you have almost everything. It gives you something that seems to be right, but you expected much more, something like that. Yeah. The thing is that we don't want AI to take our jobs, but we want it to do all the work for us sometimes. So, quick intro about me. My name is Miguel Ángel. The correct way of saying it is Miguel Ángel Durán. I have been developing software for over 15 years. I'm passionate about how new technologies are shaping our field. I'm from Barcelona, Spain. If you don't know Barcelona, Barcelona is here. Okay? Yes. There's some Real Madrid fan. No? Oh, sorry. So maybe later we could hack. As content creator, I'm also known as midudev, where I have a Spanish community of more than 3 million developers worldwide. I'm in every social network that they let me. But funny thing, if you look for me on Instagram, you'll probably find my Indian family. Okay, that's not me. So, as you can see, it's not me. But if you find me on Instagram, it's midu.dev. Anyway, we're going to talk today about the rise of vibe coding and the future of programming, not only about vibe coding, that is super interesting, but MCP and with GPU, with new APIs coming to the browser. So, talking about vibe coding, have you tried vibe coding? Do you know what is vibe coding? Raise your hand if you are known about vibe coding. Okay, not that much people. Okay, it's a popular term in the recent weeks or months. It's like a buzzword that we have on the internet, but where does it come from? From here. Don't worry, I'm not gonna read it aloud. This is Andrei Karpathy, one of the founders of OpenAI, that posted this massive thread on X to talk about it and explain what it means. Too long, didn't read. Vibe coding is a new kind of coding where you completely go with the flow. What does it mean? You prompt, you get the generated code from AI. You don't check the code. You just try it, refine it, test it, and iterate. But you don't worry about the code. So this is the thing. Vibe coding is forgetting about code. I read it 2 years ago, Andrei Karpathy posted this. More and more of our code will just be giving instructions to AI using natural language. And he posted the hottest new programming language is English. And maybe it's true. I mean, I have like 20 years of experience, and what we started doing was using assembly, and then we created some programming languages near to our natural language. And after that, we created frameworks. And all of that was to try to make it more readable, more easier to create new things. And this could be a new level of abstraction. And there are different ways to do this vibe coding. We have terminal agents like Cloud Code. Now we have Gemini, CLI as well. We have coding tools with UI like Lovable, Bolt, or V0. But the programmer's favorite is just using a code editor with AI. I'm sure you all know Visual Studio Code, the most famous editor nowadays. But we have now Cursor, that is a fork of Visual Studio Code that is growing fast. We have Windsurf, another fork, also gaining popularity. Both Cursor, Windsurf, well, even Visual Studio Code, you have like a free tier with free features and free access to the AI coding tool. But for the most of it, you have to pay. And we have now even an editor from the creators of TikTok, Try, that is also a fork of Visual Studio Code. Maybe you are asking yourself, is everything a fork of Visual Studio Code? Well, no. Not everything is a Visual Studio Code fork. There is a new alternative developed with Rust called Set. For now, it's only available on macOS and Linux, but it's going to be soon on Windows. It's very interesting. I recommend it. But it doesn't really matter which one you use. They are very similar now. They all have this kind of sidebar where you are going to ask for changes to your code in a conversational way. And in this case, this is Windsurf. This is the one that we are going to do and we're going to try. But I wanted to give you a quick note, because if coding isn't going to matter anymore, you know that a lot of times we heard this kind of things of coding is dead. If AI is really going to write all the software by itself, why would OpenAI spend so much money on a code editor like Windsurf? They are gonna pay $3 billion just to buy Windsurf. That's a good question. So let's vibe. We're gonna do some kind of vibe coding to try these ideas. I like running. Almost every weekend I join a race with my friends, and we have this on WhatsApp when we share all the races that we are gonna attend. Well, this is nice, but the problem with that is that it's not a website. Websites are nicer. And the problem is that you forget where is the text. You have to search on the scroll. So let's jump, okay? This is vibe coding. It could go wrong, so just be patient. I'm going to put this. I'm gonna try to just mirror again this. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna use Windsurf, but you could try any one. I already have my Astro project. It doesn't matter about the code, but I wanted to give you some context. Astro is a web framework. It's an alternative to Next.js and so on. But the good thing is that it could be used like plain JavaScript. You don't have to worry about using any UI framework like React. And the thing is that I want to use the data.txt that has all the information with the races. And I'm gonna ask like, read, we could give the context like the exact file that we want to use. For that, we use the add and then file, and we could say data.txt, read data.txt, and grab all the info for the next races. I'm gonna put this maybe bigger. Date, name of the race, status of the race, and the people attending. Please use the legend at the bottom for the full names of the people and the status of each race. Okay? I hope it works. So the good thing is that maybe I don't know how to program, or I don't have enough time, or I just want to create a simple prototype. As we could see, it seems that it's working as expected. It's extracting everything. But for now, it's not creating the website. It's just extracting the info. So I'm going to be more specific. I want to create a website with all the info. Please create a library to extract the data and show it in a table, okay? Right now, I'm using the GPT 4.1 because in Windsurf, you have to pay for cloud, or at least for the latest models. But you have a bunch of options. There are some of them that are completely free, like this one. This is like software engineering #1, and it's free for now. Okay, now it's searching the project. As you could see, I'm not seeing which component it has to create or where it should create folders or anything. It detects automatically what kind of project I'm using. It's creating right now this component, and even started the project. It detected the kind of framework that I'm using, started the web development server, and it's offering me to open the website preview inside the editor. And we are going to be able to see here if it's working as expected. It seems that it's not working as expected. Okay, let's check this. Okay, here we have the information, but here it seems that it's not working. Let's try again. Okay, here we don't have anything. Okay, why it's not here? Why it's empty here, but it's here? Well, no problem. No, it's normal. The port that you are seeing here, this is normal because here we are using localhost, But the funny thing about this that I wanted to show is that it's connecting inside the editor, and you are gonna be able to inspect even elements from the website and send to the chat to say, I want to change this kind of element. I'm gonna try the WinSurf browser. No, it's not working here as well. Let's check. No, it's not working here. I could try to, I'm gonna accept all the changes. Okay, we could see here all the changes that it made. For now it's working. The connection with the, inside the editor is not working as expected. This is a bit weird. It's like the first time that I have this problem, but it's normal. This is life. So I could try to, we could see here all the processes that are being right now running, and we have the preview of the website here as well. So I could try to cancel this. I'm going to remove this as well. I could ask to open the preview here, open the preview of the website. Let's try again. Okay. Open, start the development server. This is Vive coding. Development server. And open the preview, please. Okay, it's trying again. It's trying again. Let's try. Let's try again. Even with please, it's not working as expected. Okay. Well, I don't know why it's not working the connection. Here this is working, so no problem. I'm going to do here the changes, and that's all. So the good thing is that with one prompt, it's a shame that it's not working like the preview inside the editor, because it's super easy to start working inside the editor without having to jump outside to the browser. But at least we have something. Obviously we could try to improve this, like we could ask to improve these styles and do some dark mode. If not, we are gonna kill somebody with all that white. Okay? Okay, so now it's trying to do the CSS. It's editing the race table. And now we are going to see how the changes are presented. So we have here the changes. We could accept only a part of the changes. We could accept all the changes. We could see that all of these lines of code are being generated by the AI. And this is the change. Well, now it's better, but hey, you forgot to change the background. Be careful, or I'm going to fire you. Okay? So for now, this is easy because it's only styles. This is only, it's not that important. The good thing is that even without accepting the changes, I'm able, well, it's not changing the background still. Okay. Change the background to black, please. Okay, there are some, well, it's not changing still this. Okay, perfect. Oh, the table area, the background of the whole page. Okay, the thing is, for now it's only doing some changes, but there are some problems. Like, for example, we have this kind of problems with the chart set because it's missing. I would like to evolve this this app because for now it's not like working as expected. I'm going to change this at least manually, because if not, I don't want to kill anybody. Now I'm gonna, because something is happening with the editor that I'm clicking and it's not working as expected. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to from here. You are able to see the history of conversations as well. we're gonna ask something more interesting, like add a filter for the distance and the status of the application at the top of the table. Okay? And now maybe it's not running the preview. I'm gonna ask again to run the preview. Okay, reload your preview. Yeah, where's the preview? Open a preview. Okay, maybe no, it's not working. Still not working. Okay, no problem. Open the port. Open the development server at the port 41. Okay. Well, we could see that the filter is not working as well. Imagine that we have this problem because right now, if we check this kind of changes, he started using Alpine. This is the problem with vibe coding. So the problem now, it's using something that I don't like. It created a bunch of code that it's like complicated to understand. It's not working. The good thing is that you are going to be able to like do a rollback. We could revert all the changes. You only have to go to the conversation and just say, okay, this is the part that is causing the problem. We just could revert from this. We can confirm. And now we don't have the change. I don't know why, because it's killing the server as well. I'm going to put it here to be sure that it's not happening again. And I could try again in order to be sure that I'm giving the right prompt. In order to avoid this kind of code, you don't have to reject. Maybe you are like chatting, and after 3 prompts, you realize that you have a lot of problems. So you are going to be able to just roll back to just one of the conversations. I'm going to try again at a way to filter races with distance and status. Please just use JavaScript. Let's try again. Okay, filter races. The problem with this kind of vibe coding is that as you don't, we as programmers, we are going to be able to notice if we have some problems. The idea is that when you are creating something, maybe we have here a problem as well. You are going to be able to detect this kind of problems. But as we are having this kind of problem, I'm going to be able to just again, now it's using React, for example. And I don't know why. So he tried to create a component with React, trying to do this. Sometimes this is working as expected. This is the case that is not working. But this is the thing about why vibe coding is not perfect, you know? So at the beginning, maybe it's working. You maybe are going to be able to iterate, but as soon as you are facing some problems, you are going to be able you are going to have to fight the code, okay? So in this case, I'm going to reject all. Yeah? Okay, I'm going to be back. We could try again in order to put the filters, but in this case, it's not working. This is what happened. Okay, boom, with the vibe coding. Okay, no problem. Let's continue. Okay, that's the thing. Vibe coding is not the same as vibe debugging. Maybe some of you were like feeling, oh no, the demo is not working. But for me, this is perfect. I mean, this is the kind of things that I wanted to show you. The problem is that right now, a lot of people are thinking outside that the vibe coding is the solution for everything, that is going to work without problems. You only have the idea, you just ask for it, and everything is working, and it's not that it. For example, we have this case of Leo. He created a service as a software just using vibe coding with Cursor, and it seemed that everything worked as expected, but 5 minutes later, what happened? Something that like the thing that happened to me. Leo shared publicly that his hash product was under attack and that he wasn't technical enough to figure out the solution. And the problem was 5 minutes later, Leo shut down his product because every time he tried to fix something, he ended up breaking something else. Then he realized he had deployed insecure code to production. And that's the problem, the false sense of seniority. The thing that you are going to be absolutely unaware of the code is something that is not going to be true, or at least for the rest of your life. You maybe are going to be able to do something in 5 minutes, but after that, something is not going to work, and you are going to have to face it. I don't know if you know about this, Stack Overflow. I mean, I'm sure that you are not using it anymore. Stack Overflow usage is in free fall. People no longer look for answers there. They just ask ChatGPT and other AIs. And the thing is that ChatGPT is going to get you the solution, or at least the answer, faster. But the problem is that the knowledge gained using ChatGPT is less than using Stack Overflow, because at least in Stack Overflow you had to read and you had to be sure that it was working. And that's one danger, the code quality degradation, that AI are just repeating each other's mistakes. And the problem is that right now AI is being trained with code that is created by AI, and some problems and even some solutions are being repeated. I mean, I don't know if you are from web development, but if you try to use any AI, they are just using Next.js and React. And that's because it's the most used web framework. So it's perpetuating the same technology over and over. And that is going to be a problem in the future, because maybe we want to evolve. But if we have everything, the same set of tools and libraries, this is going to be a problem. And even more, the other day, they announced Cloud 4. It was introduced, the state-of-the-art AI for programming. And I just did simple question, create a React 19 cheat sheet with code examples. And I was surprised because I was seeing this API, this new API called Create Server, and I was like, okay, I didn't catch that. So, wow, I have to try this. And yes, I tried it. But it doesn't exist. It was an hallucination, and it was the first solution that it gave to me. And that's one problem, that we have tons of hallucinations, insufficient data, faulty architecture, overfitting, generation methods. So we have to be careful, because if you try to build something on the top of one problem, then you are screwed. That's vibe coding, but we have more. We have MCP. MCP, it's Model Context Protocol. Do you know about MCP? Raise your hand if you know about it. Okay, that's nice. MCP is an open protocol that standardizes how applications provide context to LLMs. Think of MCP like an USB, like a port for AI applications. It's a way to provide a way to connect to your devices, your APIs, your services. So it's a way to make smarter your AI model. Because for now, the problem is that you have OpenAI, Gemini, Claude, and all of them, they are not that smart. For example, if you try to just ask for the time, they don't know. And that's the problem with any service that you could imagine. So MCP, it's a protocol to connect those models with a lot of different services outside their knowledge. We have one demo, one example that it's pretty cool. For example, with Claude, I'm going to mirror again. In Claude, if we check what time is it, for example, something that simple is not going to be able to answer, okay? But we could, with MCP, to connect outside the model, and it's going to be able to answer that. But we're going to try something different, something fancier. For example, if you go to settings, this is something that is available as well as in Visual Studio Code, Windsurf Editor, Cursor as well. This kind of extensions, and you have the possibility, for example, to access the file system. And this extension, that is a MCP, is going to be able to connect to your file system, read the files, directories, create files, and everything else. We are going to give access to a directory, for example, this one. Okay, save, enable. Okay, let's try a new conversation. Now, if we go here, we should see a new tool, file system, and we have here like a lot of methods that are available. Some of them are for reading, write, editing. So let's chat and let's ask how many files do I have in the ordenar folder. Ordenar in Spanish is like the utils folder, okay? I have a bunch of files that are pending to be sorted, okay? I don't know if, I'm gonna try again. Just turn off and turn on. How many files do I have? Ordenar folder. I don't know if I don't have connection. Okay, let me first. The important thing about MCP, it's super powerful, but the problem is that it could be super dangerous as well. We are giving access to our file system. So as you could see, it's asking me about using an external integration, in this case, for allowing to read the directories. You could allow once or allow always. I'm going to allow once, only for this time. Now it's asking again for list directory. Okay. Okay, have here list directory again. Okay. Do it again if you are not sure about it. We have here now all the files, and we have all the information. You have 61 total files in your ordenar folder. We could even ask to, could you please sort all the files in directories according to their file type? So with that, we are allowing Claude to be able to understand or access or even changing our file system. And this is something that is super cool, because imagine that you could connect to your API, any external service, and you have a lot of and tons of extensions that are already there. They are as simple as just enable them and use them. In this case, it's creating different folders. I could go to the ordenar, this one, and we should see here videos. It's creating here videos. It's creating like different directories to move all the folders, okay? And now it's asking me the permission to move files, okay? And after that, after a while, I don't know if it's going to take a lot of time, we should see like all the files gone and being moved in different folders, okay? So this is the case of MCP. This is a simple one, but maybe we want to do something fancier. We could go to this repository. There are tons of websites or like catalogs to go there and check different MCPs. There are some that are super powerful, like connecting to your database with Postgre, Redis, or something else. But there is one that is pretty interesting that is called Puppeteer. This is not the official one. It's only for testing. Some of them you have to enable them manually, like using JSON. In this case, it's moving a lot of files, okay? Let's go to settings, extensions, developer. We have here the file system, edit config. I'm going to add Visual Studio Code, this one, to use Puppeteer. Puppeteer it's a way to control your browser. Like, for example, you could create screenshots, navigate a website, simulating clicks, user input, and so on. So as it seems that we have some more files here, I'm going to just create here, do a screenshot for midudev, and store the image in the folder ordenar. Let's check if I have to restart to be sure that we have the new tool. Now I have this tool, Puppeteer. So with Puppeteer, we are going to be able to ask to control a browser. So do a screenshot for midudev, store the image in the folder ordenar. OK. Now it's asking me some permissions. And we should be able to see now that a new browser is opening with this website. It's doing the screenshot now, asking me for the permission to do the screenshot. And now it's going to store this file in the folder as I asked. Write file, OK. And it's saving the file without having to do anything else. Now it's like explaining me what it did. OK, so let's continue with more things. So we have seen Vibe coding, MCP. Next, Web GPU. Web GPU is a new web standard that gives you your browser direct access to your GPU. That means that it can run heavy computations like video games, but more interesting, AI models. So this is one example that is super interesting about, this kind of product that you could remove the background of an image. So nowadays, you are going to be able to do that in your browser. We have any cost, free, 100% local, without any internet connection. So in this example, let's try this one, this example. Oh, what is my here? Okay. So now, okay. My screen move the other way. Okay. Okay. Now, so in this case, we have an image background. And as you could see, this is working totally in the browser. To check this, we could check the Network tab. And you will see here in the Network tab that obviously it's like loading some HTML. But I'm going to upload an image. I could, maybe this one. OK. And everything is happening in the browser. I mean, it's private. You do not have to pay for it. It's immediate because it's super fast. It took only 100 milliseconds. The thing is that obviously you need to download at the beginning the model to do that. But after that, you even could be offline, and everything is working on your device. And that's not all. We have even voice, real-time whisper voice, like this one. And that's something that it could be super complicated to do with an API, because if you want to do something like real-time, this is happening everything in the browser. So if we check the network, I could reload everything, OK? We have a bunch of code. This is open source, by the way. We check the load model, and this is the model that you have to load at the beginning. But after that, everything that I'm talking, well, I don't know if you see the, I'm going to, everything is happening in the browser. And this is real time. if you need this to do, if you need an API to do this, it's going to be super complicated because you have some latency, you have to wait for it, and even if you need to, well, I'm talking too much, but, and you are not going to be able as I'm talking. Let's reset this, okay? Now, are you ready? Okay, perfect, thanks. As you can see, this is happening everything in the browser, real time, and with an API, it's super complicated to do so. Okay, so this is with the web GPU, but it's not the only thing that is coming to the browser. Because with the browser as well, my display, where is my display? Display here. Ah, it's here, okay. Okay. This is the demo. So with that technology, you are going to be able even to create your own ChatGPT. Obviously, it's not that powerful, but the only code that you need is this one. Import the library, select a model that is going to be able to run on your browser. Just start the engine with this selected model, and after that, with these few lines of code, you are going to be able to just ask questions like ChatGPT. This is all the code that you need. And even that, we are going to get AI in the browser. This is beta in the Google Chrome. It's coming Gemini Nano with some APIs that are super interesting. Yeah, I know that you are thinking, okay, if my Google Chrome now is like eating all my RAM, with this new AI is going to be worse. I don't think so, because now it's all getting all your RAM, so it's not more RAM to get. We have new APIs like language detector. This is a way to detect the language that you are using for a text. This is an example to detect that this is Polish. We have the different answers, like to be sure, or the confidence that the AI thinks that the language is. In this case, it has pretty confidence. After that, we have Summarizer API. In case that you want to summarize any content, you only have to create with this code, and you pass the large text, and you have different types of summarize that you could do, like a headline, key points, and so on. And the most interesting one is the translator API, because you are going to be able to translate anything from one language to another without any kind of API, without no cost, and everything working locally 100% with private, without anything to worry about. Even you are going to be able to get this as a stream answer. Like when ChatGPT is answering you, it's a streaming answer because you are getting like chunks of the answer instead of waiting for all of it. And you are going to do the same with this kind of translations. We are also getting prompt API to get a full ChatGPT kind of ChatGPT in the browser. For now, this is only available for extensions, but it's super simple to use, like this one. Advantages of all of it: works locally, 100% private, responds very fast. As you could see, if everything is working on your device, the only problem is that you have a slow device or you don't have memory enough. That could be a problem. And the good thing is completely free. You don't have to pay for it. The problem is that for now, it's only on Google Chrome, and it's in beta. But the good thing is that you could do some kind of fallback. You could try to check if you have access to this new kind of API, and if not, you could call an API, an external API, and pay for it. So I wanted to create a Google Translate, but I don't have time. So the most important thing that I wanted to explain in this talk is that vibe coding is not perfect. It's super useful. It's a good tool. And that you don't have to be worried about if code is going to disappear or code is not important anymore, because code is just a tool to provide a solution for your users. If the day of tomorrow we are using an AI or just natural language, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is try to solve the user problems, and code is just a way to do it. So don't worry about it, just vibe code, be happy, learn to code, because as you have seen, it's super important, still nowadays. Don't worry about getting your job. In those 20 years, I have seen coding evolving, and I remember the day that a friend of mine told me, oh, .NET is launching, we are dead, frameworks are getting our jobs. And as you can see, 20 years later, we are still here, and we are going to be here for a lot of time. So, dziękuję, and thank you so much. Thanks.